How's it going, everyone? ND Sean 45 coming at you. This week, the Irish head home to take on the Virginia Tech Hokies. Now, this game is going to be a very defining one for us. Now, a lot of you are hearing me say that right now and wondering, what the hell are you talking about, Sean? What do you mean defining? Well, it's defining for this reason. Do we just lay down and give up after the blowout loss in Ann Arbor last week? Or do we collect ourselves, get up, finish the season strong, and have a shot, what slim chance there is, of getting to a New Year's Six bowl game? Now, I'd like to think that any team who has some heart, it would be the latter. You know, you get back up on that horse after you've been knocked off, and you keep going. So this is why this weekend's matchup against Virginia Tech is going to be a defining game for us. It's going to give us a chance to see what this Irish team is truly made of when facing adversity and, you know, facing the criticism and all sorts of crap that they have since last Saturday. So it starts with Virginia Tech. Now, breaking down the Hokies, they're a very young team. They're led by sophomore and first-time starting quarterback Hendon Hooker, who's been their starting quarterback for only a few weeks now. But in those few weeks, he hasn't been too shabby. Not bad at all. I think he's at 58% completion percentage, just shy under 600 yards passing, 7 touchdowns, which doesn't seem like a lot for only a few weeks, but the key stat, no interceptions. And also, this kid has a tendency to run when he's in trouble. And I'm not going to pretend that I've watched a bunch of Virginia Tech Hokie football. I haven't. I'm just going off of what I read. But yeah, this is a very young Hokie team. And so far, they're 5-2 on the season. And you could make the argument with their schedule. You know, there's some opponents on there that aren't exactly the hardest. And I think there is at least one FCS opponent on there. But still, though, 5-2 for a young team like this, that's not bad. So I give them credit for that. Now, I know that if you're a betting person, the odds are on this game are, I think, last I saw, 17.5 points favorite for the Irish. Well, here's the thing, guys. This Virginia Tech team, despite how young they are, based on what I've read, they're a lot better than what people are giving them credit for. They're coming off a 6 overtime victory off of North Carolina and then the bye week. So this is a team that's going to be pretty fresh. And they've had, 2 weeks to prepare for us, which makes them a little on the dangerous side and puts us on upset alert. And we're coming off the big loss in Ann Arbor. So our spirits kind of been shattered a little bit. But no, very young team. And ever since Hendon Hooker has taken over this offense, they've started to get some momentum rolling. Defensively, and this is where I think it's going to be a bit the key matchup. Their defensive line, the whole team is young, but their defensive line, them being very young, going up against our offensive line, which is somewhat young, but we have some veterans. And, of course, on our defensive line against their O-line. Major difference right there. So, case in point, this game is going to be won in the trenches. The Hokies don't have a bad running game, but going up against a defensive line like ours, that definitely goes in our favor. But at the same time, as I mentioned, with Hooker having the tendency to run, there's been times this year where we've kind of struggled, even with being a veteran defense, we've struggled against dual threat quarterbacks. So that's a major concern for myself right there. But at the same time, with their whole team being as young, especially on their defense, and our offense, even though it's been quite a struggle this season, trying to just get an identity, get things going. Ian Book being as inconsistent as he has been all season. On paper, and that's the key word, on paper, we're the better team. But honestly, I still don't see us having any problems winning this game. However, I don't see it being a blowout. I think this will be the game that the Irish recover, that we get our shit together, we come to the realization like, okay, we got beat up pretty bad in Ann Arbor last week. We're not invincible. Let's try to clean some things up. And I like to think that everybody on that team and the coaching staff as well has figured that out. And the key word is hope. So you got to make the adjustments, got to make the changes. Hopefully, they spent this whole week doing that, and getting woken up in Ann Arbor, because a lot of things caught up with us last week, and if we don't clean it up, Virginia Tech is going to take advantage of it. Because, like I said, they may be a young team, they're 5-2 still, and this is a team that I don't think you can. I say this about every team, but this is a team especially that you cannot overlook or just think it's going to be a cakewalk, because it's not. Virginia Tech, hey, this isn't a conference game for them. They don't really have anything to lose in this one. So they're going to pull out all the stops, trick plays, you name it, to try to come into our house and get a victory. So that makes them very dangerous right there. So it's going to be up to our front seven to shut down their running game, put pressure on Hendon Hooker, and it's our job for our offense to get some consistency going, find some identity. Ian Book, he's got to stay comfortable in the pocket. He has to start getting comfortable in the pocket, because he hasn't been comfortable there all season long. So the way I see this game going down, I think it's going to be kind of back and forth, maybe a little bit of a stalemate to start the game. But I think just like last year in Blacksburg, I can see the Irish pulling away in this one late. So my final score prediction for this game: Notre Dame 35, Virginia Tech 21. Yeah, that's really all I can say. We just have to pick up the pieces and get back on track. We know the playoffs they're done. They're kaput. But that slim chance of a NY6 bowl is still there, even though it doesn't look likely. It is still there. A lot can happen in the next 6 weeks. And so, of course, the video that I made on Monday still stands. I still think, if it becomes apparent in the next three games or so that we're not going to a major bowl game, then you start giving Phil Dracovic some significant reps. But at the same time, with Ian Book, I stand by my criticism of him, what I said in that video a couple days ago. But that doesn't mean that I want him to fail. I don't. I just don't think he's our future. That's all I'm saying. I want him to succeed every time he gets under center, out of the gun. Anytime he takes that field, I want him to succeed. And if he gets something figured out and turns it around from here, good. But yeah, you start playing Phil a lot more significantly if it becomes apparent in the next 3 games that NY6 is out of the picture. But just 1 week at a time at this point. We can't worry about what other people do. We can only worry about ourselves. So that's my final score prediction for this game: Notre Dame 35, Virginia Tech 21. On that note, everyone, this is ND Sean 45 signing off. And as always, God bless, and go Irish, beat Hokies.